Hello and welcome back to Rome Total Realism, Imperium Surrectum. Getting on with our war with Syracuse as we finally gotten through our opening stages of economic golden age. I realized that an auto-resolve I took, I thought, oh, it killed a few Principes, it's fine, I'll use them as a garrison. Didn't quite notice that I may have lost like an entire unit of Equites between that auto-resolve and my earlier battles. May have made some mistakes, it's fine, we'll fix it later. We don't need cavalry units, we have enough family for that, I hope. I am in sort of a weird spot where, like, Syracuse is here, they're sieging a rebel settlement, but I know they have a minor city here. This has stone walls, presumably it's of similar size. No, it's a large town as well. Well, I guess I didn't actually know this was a minor city before I talk about Fog of War to talk about plans, so it's fine. But dramatic irony, we know this is going to be a problem for us because they're recruiting full speed over there. And I believe our current turn is done, so it's time to end the turn and see what happens between. Syracuse is spying on me. What underhanded bastards. I can't believe they would do this. Alright, looks like not a lot between turns. You weren't governing anything important, were you? I didn't even know you were there. You were supposed to have left that city. He died as he lived, utterly uncared for. We're gonna continue retraining everything over here in Rome, continue building the Equites. We're building at this point with a silver shield, or sorry, a silver sword, a bronze shield, and 3 chevrons. It's kind of nuts. Well, the level of sword does depend on whether it's a light weapon or a heavy weapon, unfortunately. But still, that's such powerful units. And it looks like we will be finishing this second legion with positive income, which is incredible. I honestly thought we'd be bankrupt by the end of it. Now, I look down here and I see that having built spies, my vision's increased. Let's grab these guys and start walking around with them. I did not expect another town there to be owned by Syracuse. Syracuse is a larger starting faction than I gave them credit for. So my thought is, this faction, or this unit rather, really does need to go back and get retrained. It doesn't have time to do that at Syracuse. Syracuse is going to take a long time to come online as a recruiting center. To such a degree that it's probably wrong to even be doing this, but I feel like I have to. I feel like it needs to be able to do it. So what I think I'm gonna do, seeing how small that is, and there is no garrison here, is this your faction leader? What's wrong with you?
Orders.
I think the play is to leave the city here. Obviously, they're not remotely okay with that. But we can hire an entire mercenary army. What do you mean 1720? Oh, I see, the one next to it, 111720. It's hiding in the gold stack. That makes more sense. I think I can hire this army, use it to destroy these settlements. I'll have to exterminate them because I won't be able to hold them. And I might get a man of the hour doing this, making it a much better army. I think that's actually the plan.
Leaving the army.
Obviously, it's terrible economically, but still.
Attack!
So we make him back off. We try to get man of the hour by killing him. And I don't think you get man of the hour for this battle, unfortunately. It's not exactly a tough one. Wait. No, just enemy army routes. Never mind. And we're gonna come here first and try to kill this faction leader before he gets anything underneath him.
Settlement under siege, sir.
And I think that this is economically not great, but it allows me to end the Syracuse problem much faster than I otherwise might. Speaking of ending the Syracuse problem, let's take a look at this siege. There's just a guy in here. Don't you dare make me fight this manually. I'll take 12. 12's fine. Now, I don't have the governors to leave behind in every settlement, and enslaving keeps resulting in people being uppity and starting problems, so extermination it is, unfortunately. We're gonna leave behind our 1 damage unit of Principes. It is a damn expensive garrison. We'll be back to fix that in the future, but for now, we have to do it. And it's not good enough. They are so far from okay with that decision. But first, let's destroy this. And figure out how much happiness they're losing per turn for the wall. They would get an additional 10 happiness probably. That's not enough. And the happiness from here won't be enough either.
Orders.
Any new mercs up here? Same region, same region. A proper unit of Equites is supposed to be 61. I can combine these and take my 10 Equites to go sit in Syracuse until they can be retrained. That to me seems like a good decision to make. No reason to risk losing a unit because of nonsense like that. These are both 1 unit garrisons. Well, 2 unit and 1 unit, basically. So I think I'm happy to try to destroy them. These family members are going to have to become governors in this first war, unfortunately. We don't want to leave someone super old or super good at fighting behind. You're 33, but I can see some gray hair. 33. All my people are just like old farts that are gonna die soon. This guy's got 6 command. He's like my second best general, honestly. I don't want to leave him behind. Also, why is he so good? Holy shit. This guy's incredible. Hold up. I think I want to make this guy my faction heir. 1 second. Make faction heir. Congratulations. You have the talent to justify it. Because the current guy leading this army, he's only 32. He's objectively better. Maybe he should be the faction heir. Shit. Sorry, that was a short-lived faction heir. Let's go find Quintus Octavius Ralla instead. So now he should start getting a much larger unit as well as a little bit of stat buffs. We need to worry about this place not being happy, unfortunately. Not sure what the best way to do that is. I don't really need the second spy. And it can't make it here to try to open the gates, so I guess never mind, it doesn't matter. Come be a watchtower for us. Full army is over here. Can we see anything about it? Yes, we can see it's a full army with a general, and it's alarming. But I don't have to fight it for quite a while. And in fact, I might be able to beat them without ever doing anything else. I might be able to do some cheese and drop a fort here and then siege on the other side. Just convert it into a rebel stack and never deal with it. I'm never recruiting from this city. The culture penalty from this barracks is like actually just bad. I'm not going to use that barracks in the first place. The rest of this I'll tolerate the culture penalties for. What are we getting for happiness out of that first unit? The garrison is giving 40%.
Imperator.
If I leave behind a second Principes, that'll get it to 85 then. Theoretically.
Sure.
Theoretically, that's true. We're good. Okay. So we need to leave behind 2 Principes, unfortunately. We obviously want to change exactly how we're staffing these areas, but that's going to take a while before we can start building shit units in Syracuse to garrison cheaply. Which will be its main purpose, is to cheapen the garrisons and then reform a new legion after the conquering of Sicily. But for now, that's just so far off that it feels like I'm talking about pipe dreams.
General.
So we're obviously taking, I think, like this, and then most of the Principes, and coming to the slightly bigger settlement.
Attack. Besieging
Build some ladders, maintain siege. Then everyone else comes to Masana to take that one. And hopefully this is not a land bridge where if you own a city, you can cross the other side. Because if that is the case, they could theoretically conquer this and come over and we'd be in a serious predicament, but I don't believe that's the case. We have 3 Syracuse settlements under siege right now. That's a great start. This can come up and get closer to help reposition my armies. It's not safe to leave because I know the Syracuse Navy's somewhere in here. I currently have 1 unit of Equites being built. I'm gonna need 4 more Equites total, so this is gonna be the end of that first legion. And with 4 more turns of construction, we wait 2 turns and then we build 2 birooms. And that should be enough to safely get us to Carthage. No, we wait 1 turn, then build 2 birooms, otherwise it won't get to Rome on time. I really wish there was 1 more level of zoom for this minimap. I don't know if that's something that's easy or hard to implement, but this is still so far out that I basically can't see anything. It looks like I can press the button, but I absolutely cannot.
Can I be of service? At once.
All right, is this more Seleucids? Who cares? Can I walk out here? No. But I think I can actually see that this is, yeah, Ptolemaic Kingdom City. So that's good. Our building queues are getting shorter because we just don't have the money to keep queuing up buildings nonsensically, but that's fine. We should start increasing our income rather dramatically as we start conquering with these armies, and hopefully relatively soon they start all becoming very clear, massive net gains. But for now, the turn is over. Oh, no, he's not idle. He's doing his job. Stop that. All right, let's see what the stack from Syracuse gets up to, because this is the real question. Theoretically, it should matter a lot. Okay, it didn't conquer it and come across the land bridge that may or may not exist. It didn't get in the boats and come over. It broke the siege and wandered into my territory again. Syracuse, come on. Oh. I don't know where he was, to be honest. I think I know where he was. It wasn't you, actually. Where was he? He wasn't leading an army. He must have been, like... weird. I'm not quite sure where he was, but that means I have control of my new faction leader and my new faction heir, because I just set my faction heir. Marcus the Handsome at 16, you've already got a bitchin' nickname? Came in with full upgrades, too? Godlike perfection. Adonis would gaze upon this man with jealousy most ordinary mortals already do. More likely to be assassinated, but also more influential. Not a great farmer, busy being handsome. Gonna be honest, I don't look at this face and think, oh man, Adonis himself would feel jealousy. However, because that's happened, I'm not entirely upset about it. It means I can set this man to be my faction heir now. Okay, the thing I thought was happening is not actually true. Clicking on this while selecting numerous Fabius Pictor does not open him here. That's fine, I'll go find him. There he is. Make him the heir. So now my two best generals are also my leader and heir, which I love to see. And it looks like we have to conquer 3 settlements in Syracuse real quick. Let's start with the mercenary win against their faction leader. Does this actually win an auto-resolve? It looks like it does, and I want these troops to be severely deplenished. I'm gonna auto-resolve and I'll take literally any result other than they somehow lose. They lost almost nothing. I don't even know if I could have done that well. That felt a little bit wrong. Anyway, exterminate. We're gonna leave behind, I guess, these cheaper Peltas, right? Wait, they're actually happy? That's the craziest shit I have ever heard. Destroy everything in the settlement, by the way. I don't need these production buildings. Come down here. They have, like, almost a real army. I don't quite think it is one. Resistance is futile, no man of the hour, unfortunately. Now, you seem like you're having a bad day. Is your tax rate at minimum already? It is. Well, sewers make you happy, because if not, we're going to have some words. Oh, I forgot to destroy this. Let's get rid of that. Could have sworn I did destroy that. Oh, speaking of, I don't need any of this other stuff either. Yeah, I clearly just forgot to do that in this city. Whoops. So I think we just let the sewer finish, and that should give them the public order bonus to get to orange, and we'll be good enough there. We're doing a lot better in happiness here. We can go up to high tax right now. Gonna make a sewer here as well, just try to get these people all notably happier than they currently are. And let's start working on these sieges. I suspect they'll be auto-resolves with how few enemies are in here, but we have to save before everyone, because you never know when you'll randomly lose half your army on very hard difficulty. Auto-resolve. We lost 48 men. I'm fine with that. Victory! Exterminate. We can't afford to garrison every one of these. Leave behind the most mangled unit of Principes. Step outside. They're very unhappy with that. The garrison is currently worth 25%, so it'd be 50% with a real garrison, but that's not good enough. It should be a little bit better than this, though, because they do have some culture penalties that they're not going to be sticking around. We're going to destroy that foreign culture shrine, build our own shrine.
General.
It's actually still exactly 25%, nothing has changed. Repair the wall, that'll be, I think, 10% happiness, right? Yeah. And then the new shrine gets another 10% happiness. And if I leave behind another unit of Principes, 65 plus the new happiness should be enough. They have one settlement left. It's right there. I think we can do some cheesy nonsense here.
Sir, General.
Let's rejoin this army. Attack. This should be the easiest auto-resolve of my life. Alright, I've dropped an autosave. Let's see how this goes. I can't imagine I need to fight this manually. 36 is more than I'd like to see, but it's fine. Exterminate this one too. We're gonna move these boats up immediately. Where did I put my boats? I could have sworn... Here they are, they're in this port now. Move these boats up immediately. We take everyone in this settlement except for whatever the most depleted unit of Principes is, unless a general's wrecked, and they aren't. That Principes is a garrison now, the rest of you leave. And I'm gonna start working on getting all of this sorted. Step 1 to that, of course, is destroying all of their recruitment buildings in all of these cities. Theoretically, I could recruit here, but no, absolutely not. At a low tax rate, they're at 50%, and they'll go down to 65 and still be at risk of rioting, unfortunately, once this is repaired and this is built. Wait, no, this is 10, isn't it? 10 and 10? They should get up to exactly 70 and be at risk of rioting still, shit. So I'm like a couple of Principes short. What I should be able to do then... If you're wondering how I'm planning on taking on the sack, it's very funny, I'm not. I should be able to use a slightly larger group of Principes, and that does it. Now, we're going to take a random person in this group, and we can see that they can get through in a variety of spots here. But I just need to block their movement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here, going to hire their cheaper mercs, I'm going to build a fort to block this path. I'm going to take some next spearmen over. Just build another adjacent fortress. And that's how we're going to do this siege. Take all these units, we come up north. We've blocked all the paths by foot. Oh shit, we missed one. Build ladders, maintain siege. He can still come around like this from the back, can't he? Yeah, he can come through the side here. That's fine. I've got the money and the time. We're going to build one more fort. I don't think I need this guy, actually. We're going to just build the fort then. We're going to man it ourselves. And he can no longer get to the city to do anything. And since we're going to wipe out their last 2 settlements, he's going to become a rebel general and completely useless before he can actually interfere with what's left of my legion. These 2 settlements are actually happy, I promise. They're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. I'm going to move this boat up towards Rome because it's to become the ferry for the next group. I'm actually not going to need to build my own after all. Also, it looks like we're just in full not going to be building as much as I thought we were. I just want to send this army as soon as I can at this point, which is going to be 2 more units of equites after this guy gets here and gets retrained. Which means that we're done building here. I'm not going to start building the 2nd Legion yet. We're very low on money. I need to save this to keep building in all my cities because we're going to be just depleting money for a hot second like at the start of the game. Except our armies and our scale and our economy are far, far better than they were at the start of the game. And let's check out what needs to be built and where. Porphyrium's been upgraded. We're going to start with farms, and we're not going to queue up anything because we don't have that kind of money anymore. Neapolis has been upgraded to farms again. That's just going to be the story. As a town grows, it gets farms, and I hope that our economy is better in a few turns when they're done. Where are you? Oh, you're down here. I just forgot your name. You're good, right? Yeah, this finishes. You're fine, just barely. And we come pick up trade rights with Egypt. Diplomats famously don't know how to cross ports. Very bad at it. Anyway, trade rights. I know your map's better than mine. I'm not going to fuss. Okay. Is this also theirs? I'll ask you again next turn and give you my map with it. Can I ask you this turn? Like,
leave us be.
It seemed generous to me. All right, see you next turn. Theoretically, Syracuse could have stopped this by using their boat as a ferry to get around the forts, but instead they were just like, oh shit, I can't get past the forts. And instead of sieging them, they just literally did nothing, which is kind of funny. All right, Egypt, look, I know it didn't... I seemed like a dick last turn. I know, I don't really know why, but good, thank you. I'm gonna go talk to Pontus, I guess. There's really no major trading partners left to meet, but we may as well keep this guy getting trade partners until he dies of old age. All right, the last Principes arrives. We retrain him. This Equites is not actually getting made. We're not making another one. The boat should be arriving in Rome this turn. It's unfortunately the same ferry that we were using previously. But if we need one in Syracuse, every single settlement in Syracuse can build a boat. Or in Sicily, rather. Alright, this might be a real fight I have to think about. I don't think I can auto-resolve this, though since I don't love these units, I'll definitely try. Can I save my time? No? Okay, I'll fight it manually. Alright, so in the manual battle, as always, we just scatter our ladders, and thankfully there is no one guarding the one completely open spot. I'll be back with you once I've captured a large chunk of the walls, because we have a bunch of jab cav, and I think I intend to make good use of them. Oh, they're just standing here and throwing javelins at us, but also that's getting them shot by the towers. That seems a little bit unfair. I don't think they should be doing that. Not like unfair for me, it seems unfair to them. They lost a lot of more valuable men, and they're... I'll be back with you with like 10 minutes left on the timer, because this will eventually kill the whole unit. They don't seem to care. And I ain't gonna say no to a free kill of one of their 3 units. What's left is not visible to the tower. However, it's still very much going to be dead. Run that down. Oh, they're running away inside the town. Well, I'll still call that a massive win for me, right? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have my hoplites over here forming a line. And then over here on the other side, I have my skirmishers on the wall. And I'm gonna use one at a time. I'm gonna do this one at a time, because I'd worry about a second unit getting caught. I am going to run past with this jab cav on fire at will and try to pull them around the city, because the AI is much more aggressive in this version of the game. Yeah, so they're chasing us down, getting shot by the towers. It's great. Gonna try that again in a hot second. Because this unit's already tired, I'm gonna switch who's doing it, and they're almost out of javelins as well, so that's another reason to switch. Because the plan is very much to get these spearmen weakened. Everything else is really not the biggest problem, but the spearmen are. Do not fire it. Well, damn it. Right, that unit's dead. Now it's just the spearmen and the general. I think the general might be coming to fight. Maybe not. Let's run out. Come on, chase me. Absolutely not, huh? Let's get a little bit closer. Throw command. Leave. Okay, so we're gonna have to do this a couple of times, it seems. Because they really don't want to get out. And in that case, let's think about this. It's probably time to hammer an anvil then. Give them something to get distracted by. Let's grab this tower so we can circle around a little bit more. Because nothing's chasing us enough to use the original plan. All right, we've got the tower. We're going to bring this unit down here. The plan being that when this fight happens, we run forward and throw javelins into the back of the enemy. Guys, what the fuck are you doing? Move. Your instructions were not complicated. All right, we're going to try it again. Throw javelins, fall back through the spearmen. Not quite. We're going to try it again. We have more javelins to throw. Come on, do something about it. Come fight me. All right, I've baited them enough. Please leave. They really just are not interested in fighting, are they? Wait, here we come. Perfect. Finally got it. Nope, backed off immediately. All right, guys, come forward because the cavalry's done being cavalry at this point. We're actually going to reposition these cavalry all the way to the other side. These are going to have to stay where they are and come out during the fight. But the plan, I think, is to reposition both of these to guard and throw from the side right here. All right, cavalry's in position. Cavalry is... Oh, we can get closer. Let's get closer. Cavalry is fully in position on both sides. Let's try out the new strategy. Draw thin 3 deep there. Position the Peltas behind them to get their attention. During the fight, I would like to circle around and throw at the side with the Peltas, like I was originally saying, but we just need to do this to get the fight started, unfortunately. It looks like they're not even interested in fighting until the Peltas get off their asses, so we'll wait a second. Technically not in range to throw, that's fine, just scoot up a little bit. Alright, this is the start of the fight, let's see it. Because this will get their attention, they won't just keep doing nothing to this. I'm afraid to run forward until I see this fight joined. I'm very concerned I'll just lose a unit of Javcav to their general. I need the spearmen fighting there. I'm just going to put it on higher speed. Alright, it's happening. Move to the side. Start the attack. You don't need to be in guard position. With the response, we're able to move these cavalry out now. Move to here to get good angles. Come in. Come in. You're good, just throw. You're not about to break, are you? You're my general, which is unfortunate because it means that things can get very, very messy. But there's really no additional orders to give now. Why are you not shooting? What the fuck do you mean? You're out of javelins already? I did not know this. All right, this is all we got. That's everyone engaged and fighting. It's just a matter of morale now, because in an extended fight, we'd win, but we could break first is the issue. Our Cavs just routed, but I think... no, we're still losing the Syracuse and Hoplites. Their general dying doesn't actually matter, unfortunately. Well, these mercenaries did the best they could. It looks like I'll need to finish off Syracuse myself. Maybe? I don't know. It depends on if my general dies. It's very close to working. I'm afraid to pull anyone out of the fight, though, because right now we're winning. I think. And by pulling them out of the fight, that could change into an instant rout. Holy shit. Yeah, I see why auto-resolve is losing this one. That was barely won. It could not have been closer. I had accepted defeat. I was like, you get what you put in, and I bought some dudes off the street. That's so close to a loss. Holy shit. Good job, gang. As with the rest of the settlements we've been conquering in Sicily, we just can't afford to leave the population slightly higher and risk the happiness problems. I would love to enslave all of this. I think I can maybe afford it with this one because the garrison has nowhere else to be. I'm enslaving. I want to enslave. That looks like multiple town grows from it too. Town grows, Governor's Palace, and town expands, Governor's Villa. I wanted the upside of enslavement, even at the cost of a potentially slightly angrier city. I'm hoping that this is actually going to be salvageable. I haven't just screwed myself by doing that. 10%, huh? Syracuse is also not doing great presently. Why are you so mad all of a sudden? Well, we can drop their tax rate to fix a lot of it, but the issue is without this man, it's completely fallen apart. However, with another 56 men there, that should be enough to keep them happy, I think. So we can juggle the governors? No, Syracuse is completely not okay. Fair enough. The Principes here, are they necessary? No, but alternatively, could the Principes on their own do it? If the tax rate's lower, no. So these Principes can also come back to Syracuse. They're still at 35. Syracuse is having a bad time. The garrison's only worth 5% right now. All right, since they're not gonna be happy no matter what, we move all of these people to Syracuse. How's that look like? 45%. I knew I should have fucking exterminated them. What I might have to do is balance between this settlement and Syracuse every turn for a hot second. Anyway, it turns out Syracuse is not happy enough right now. We need more public order stuff here. There's really not a lot I can do there is the problem.
Sir!
Over here, I'm just gonna like build a shrine and accept them rioting immediately. I don't have an alternative. Anyway, I'll worry about that in a second. Let's wipe out Syracuse. Let's kill a faction. I don't want to fight this manually because it's just going to be really gross using a mostly cavalry army against Syracuse and hoplites, by which I mean we eventually kill this with our cavalry and then these Principes grind that down. I know how the fight goes. Do I have to? I mean, that's a lot of casualties, but the Legion does need to be pretty much rebuilt in its entirety, so it's fine. This is my city. I don't need to do anything bad to it. But enslaving it's probably still for the betterment of most of my society, right? Like, I'm just gonna occupy. Faction destroyed Syracuse. Crazy rebel stack in the bottom now. Didn't lose any units. That's what really matters. Who here is the worst as a potential commander? Oh, hey, look at that. They didn't bother building the governor's palace when they made the city grow. Thanks, Syracuse. Really appreciate that. Lower the tax rate because this army needs to leave. 10 influence might be more than I need. We have 3 different people with 10 influence. Okay, cool.
General.
We're gonna leave behind you because you have the least chevrons. That sound cool?
Move out.
Sounds cool. Good.
General.
We're gonna take all of these mercs we just hired, join the army with them.
Imperator.
We're not conquering that. That's a real fight that we don't have the manpower for.
Orders.
These forts can fall now. I think we might be walking back to Rome in lieu of a boat, but we can just build a boat. That's a smarter thing to do, right? We have a decimated Principe and Equites down here that we need to move up. We're gonna need one of these high star or high influence commanders to come back down to make this place stop rioting. Until then, we're gonna have to juggle between Syracuse with this guy because, you know, it's just a problem at the minute. We can juggle like 3 ways using this guy too. It's very funny. These all have to be Principes presently. We can't recruit weaker units to make cheaper garrisons. Legion's just severely depleted. It's gonna have to be pretty much rebuilt in Rome with far less generals. So rather than building a 3rd Legion, we're really just gonna be rebuilding the 1st Legion. Eat it, Syracuse. Makes me feel good to have destroyed somebody in the 2nd episode.
General.
Okay, yeah, we walk to here. I think this is the closest boat we can construct. We're already building it. Good. Capua is not building shit to reinforce at Rome. I've changed my mind. I'm going to continue building right now because it's actually just to recreate the next Legion. We've still got the Equites coming. We have the boat here. We don't need any more boats. Good, good, good. Doesn't look like war's coming here. Different cities rioting now. I don't understand how they're so bad at this. This rebel city is also rioting, which is just genuinely confusing. Oh, we're not building in Capua right now. That's not good. All right, building the port makes money now that we have traders. Good.
At your service.
And actually, this spy is probably also going to get on the boat. We just don't need that spy anymore.
Your Honor.
And also, we should be taking a look at what's going on in Carthage. The answer being that they're wholly fucking unprepared for the war that's coming to their door relatively soon. That's great to say. Also, dear God, look at that population count. That's insane. I guess it's not much more powerful than what Syracuse had, but still, it feels like it. And we've moved our diplomat already, so end turn, I guess. Carthage is offering us trade rights, and we're going to say yes to avoid looking too suspicious. Alright, so 4 people came of age. There's a candidate for adoption. We're going to say no to the candidate for adoption. We have 4 new people. We have Publilius Cornelius Scipio, so hot damn. We have Publilius Cornelius Scipio twice, Quintus Fabius Pictor, and Gaius Attilius Regulus. Okay. And also we have rioting. That part's not too surprising. So what we do is we commence the juggle of rulers. That wasn't enough. Don't you have 10 influence? Holy shit. What do you mean it's not enough? That means it must also require a strong garrison, right?
Sir.
This guy's enough here, right? Yeah, they're fine with that. Syracuse, not fine at all, but it happens. With slightly more garrison, Syracuse would be fine.
Move out.
That's not the slightly more garrison they needed. So we send everyone else over here and hope that gets it. Good, okay. Now the rioting transfers to Syracuse for a turn.
Yes.
The spy gets on the boat.
Watching over the troops.
Aye, Captain.
The boat comes down to here. The rest of the army gets on the boat. The boat comes down to here.
Aye, aye, Captain.
These broken units get on the boat. We take a competent governor. 8's plenty. You're not a great general. You're not a huge stack. You come down to Syracuse. Happiness sorted. No one die, please.
Aye, Captain.
And then the boat starts its way back up to be retrained in Rome in a few turns.
Yes, Captain.
Now, a lot of stuff doesn't fit in here right now, so let's get started with this army. First, every single one of the Principes is getting in here. Now we move everyone else into the city.
General.
We missed a Principe.
Set sail.
All the Equites are getting on the boat.
Yes, Captain.
That leaves room for 4 generals. This guy has 7 stars of command. Is anyone better than him? Actually, we grab the ones that are already trained properly. You seem to have stuff no one else does. Are these people capable of being retrained? Yeah, so several people here haven't been trained properly. I assume it's all the ones that just spawned. You. So these 3 can all come. You 2 are comparatively not great.
Yes, Captain.
Full stack? We can take 1 more. I'm gonna take the young guy with weirdly good equipment.
Set sail.
Full legion, off to Rome we go.
Set sail.
Not to Rome, Carthage.
Yes, Captain.
The cooler Rome. Now, continue building this. Build Equites. Actually, not yet. We need Principes. You come north. Looks like there was a term where I wasn't building Principes, where I mistakenly thought we were done building units. Silly me. God, we're doing bad on money at the minute. I suspect we're only running 2 legions for a good long time. Also, we're not going to be building this. We're just going to get the recruitment to lower the cost and repurpose these units. We're not going to be making Principes down here. That's just never a thing that was going to happen, apparently. We are the most advanced faction, though, so that's neat. And in Rome, we can make the large Temple of Mars. And in these cities, I'm just completely focused on happiness. Nothing else really seems to matter too much. The legion that's coming back has 1, 2, 3 Principes, some additional infantry, 2 Equites, and 4 generals. That's actually probably going to be just enough to get to a full legion, like right about the time we get there, which is crazy. They'll retrain relatively quickly, then come down here. Carthage will have a little bit of time to mobilize, which I'm not the biggest fan of before we get there. That part's spooky, but there's nothing I can do about that other than just delay this invasion, and that's not how money works. I can't do that. So the big argument for using Hastati instead of Principes is A, you start invading faster, and B, it's tremendously easier to conquer a city that can rebuild Hastati than Principes. However, Hastati just sort of make me hurt on the inside, and I always think, man, I wish this was a Principe every time I've ever used one. Admittedly, not super familiar with how different they are in RTR IS, but still. But for this turn, our diplomat continues his trek towards Pontus, and that ends the turn, and I think the video as well. I've been Rather Coherent. This has been Rome Total Realism, Imperium Surrectum. I've been having a good time with it. Syracuse hasn't, but I hope you have. Thank you for watching. Thank you to the mod team for developing such an awesome mod. Thank you to my one Patreon supporter, Jeffrey Bain. And I'll see all of you in the next one.